Hello there, Nick Sigorilla with nickzook.art, and I wanted to show you a few things that I've been working on recently. I've been doing a lot of work trying to get back into the swing of being able to draw for comic books, and this is some of the stuff that I've been working on recently. This is just a printout, so this is something that I did digitally, and actually did all the pencil sketching inside of Photoshop on this one, and then sent it to Procreate and did all the line work inside of Procreate. And I am pretty happy with the way the look turned out on this. So my goal is to be able to do this digitally, but then also to be able to do it traditionally as well. So the next thing we'll take a look at is these are some pencils that I did with a Wolverine sketch, and it's actually the second time that I redrew it. I'm really interested in this artist, Stephen Platt. I knew of him when I was just first starting to collect comic books, but MegaCon recently rolled around and I was actually able to meet him and get my book signed from him. So I was kind of looking at some of his stuff, and then I'm a big fan of David Finch as well. So I was trying to emulate just a few things that I was seeing and put my own kind of twist on there. And so then I scanned that into the computer, and then actually did digital inks using Procreate again for this one, and then just did a larger printout of that. And this is something that I'm doing with some of my students. They wanted to do this art challenge, so every week we got this different theme, and the theme for this week was Beast. And at that time I was looking at a lot of Dale Keown, and I'm really a big fan of the hit work on there. And this is at the beginning of things, so I don't know, I don't think I did the best job, but ended up scanning it in and doing a little bit of color work inside of Photoshop. But I did have fun on that one, and then maybe one day I'll revisit this and just kind of redraw it and do a little bit better for that. And then the next theme that we worked on was called Void. And what I've been doing for this one is I'll get something that's about this size for thumbnails, scan that into the computer, blow it up to what the actual size is going to be, and then I do have this light box that's underneath here for things, but what I've actually been doing is just I've got a printer that's can print 11 by 17, and so I just print out the actual size on here, so you can see there's actually blue underneath of this, and then I drew the pencils over the top of that. So after all the pencil work was done, just scan that back into the computer and get it all set up to be the correct size. I did have a little bit of problem with this printer that I've got, where if I print borderless, it's shifting the image over, so this image slowly started drifting to the left, and I had to keep kind of working with it in the computer to try to fix some of that stuff. But I scanned that back in, printed this back out, and this is what I was talking about, where it kind of drifted to the left a little bit. And then I actually did traditional inks on all this, and this was a lot of fun. I got to the point where I did put some white on a toothbrush, and then was doing some splatter stuff for some of the stars and things like that. So I don't know, I'm not super happy with it. It turned out okay. What I would say is that you can see when I printed this out, it's got a little bit of blue underneath of here, so whenever you scan it back in, and then their Photoshop, they've got a way to adjust things, and you can adjust for black and white. They've got a preset on there that will remove blue from there, so that's pretty nice. So you can do all the work, have this blue underneath of it a little bit, and not have to worry about bringing it back in and getting that. And so then I took a little bit of time and did some coloring inside of Photoshop with this one, and did a printout. So this is just the large print of that. And then from there, our next challenge was space that we had. So I've always been a big fan of Metroid, and I thought it would be pretty fun to do this. Unfortunately, right now I'm kind of showing some of the final work to the students, and I've got the thumbnail that I did for that on a board so they can see that, but it's very similar to this. So this is some more sketches that I was doing around that time, and it was about this size that you see here. And so then again, I just took that and I blew it up right there. So you can see I blew this up, and this one I actually did use the light table and took a piece of Bristol board and put it over the top of it and drew with like a red pencil. This is kind of crazy, but I don't even know where I got this from, but it's a Crayola Rouge, just some red, just some colored pencil that was from there. But actually, I like the way that it looks, and it just kind of draws pretty easily for this. So that's the part about it that I do like. And I haven't really explored this yet of removing the red, like if I scan that in, but I'm pretty confident I could probably get rid of the red just like I do the blue. And then from there, you can see this actual sketch right here, kind of like the energy of that. And what I did with that one was I pulled it in the computer, but because I have that sketch with a bunch of other stuff around it, I didn't really have room for the legs, so I went in Photoshop and then I just kind of redrew this thing and added some kind of Metroid-ish monster that was coming after Samus on there. And from there, then with the pencil, scanned it in, same deal, printed this out in blue this time, and then actually did traditional inks. And that time I did a Croquill nib pen, and I tried on a few different things and I was having a lot of difficulty with it. I wouldn't even say by doing this one piece I've got the hang of it. I'm starting to understand it a little bit more, and I'm understanding like why you'd want to use this as a tool. It does some really cool thin to thick or thick to thin. And yeah, so I'm seeing the professionals that use this and they can get such an amazing look out of it that I'm like, I think I need to keep pushing through that, and I just need to keep going until I've figured that out. But I used that in combination with maybe just a few microns, and the only thing that I did with these microns was for the thicker things, there's just a few lines that I touched up here and there. And unfortunately for me, because I'm using traditional inks and I'm not that great at figuring out how to keep my page super clean, there was a few times that they've got some smears on there and things like that. So I had some whiteout. I do have these Uniball Signo brand. I've used these before and I thought they worked pretty well, but for some reason, I don't know if it's just the way that it's coming out or what, but it's not actually covering the best, and it's starting to mix with the ink. So I have some stuff on order, and it's on its way. That I've been listening to content with Richard Friend, and he suggested a certain type of white brand that will cover better. I've tried these as well. Here in Orlando, we got this place called Sam Flax, which is a really nice art store, and they've got a bunch of different supplies and stuff like that. So I got these as well, and sometimes they work okay to cover, but I just had not been having the best luck with whites covering the actual black. So if anybody has some good tips on that, I'm all ears for that. The other thing that I've been doing is I spent a lot of money on different drawing utensils, and trying to find out the right kind of lead that I wanted to draw with, and I got everything that David Finch was drawing with, and then I saw this video where Jim Lee was drawing with this type of pencil, which is actually not very cheap. I think it was $20 some odd or something like that, but this one's got HB lead on it, and I did find for me HB, and I do believe when I was watching Jim Lee, I think that's what he was drawing with. That's the type of lead that, I don't know, there's something about the way that it goes on the paper, and it's not too smeary for me or anything else like that. And I didn't really like the harder leads. So what I found for me is that actually drawing with this one here, which is a 2mm and it's HB, if I don't sharpen this thing and I get a duller edge for it, it can draw some like really nice sketchy stuff on there. So let me just see this real quick. Yeah, so I feel like I can just sketch with this like very easily, and if I want, then I can always pull those lines off if they're too much. So I got just this eraser, right? You can pull that back just a little bit, and then to finish things off, and then I can go back with this the 0.5 HB lead, and then it just feels to me like this gives me some like really nice line work that I can work with at that point. And I can get really thin lines with this one, and I do feel like there's times if I turn the pencil a little bit more, I can do some shading with it as well. Probably not the best to do the fat shading, so if I wanted to go back to, you know, some larger shading on this stuff, I would probably just go back to this one, just use something like that. So yeah, after a lot of purchasing different tools and whatnot, I came to the conclusion that I do like drawing with basically these two pencils is the thing that I like to draw with the most. I'm not really sure what the advice would be to give to you, because I think it's going to be a personal thing, and you're probably going to have to go out and you're going to try a few different things. Now, the art store that I was at, one thing that's nice about that place was they would let you try a lot of the different tools out, so you could try things out, and I was just purchasing a lot of things, so I didn't mind having it, and now I've got, you know, different leads and things like that that I could draw with it if I want to push things one direction or the other. But if you're trying to save money, then if you could find a store that will allow you to try some of the supplies and try them out, that'd be a really great option for you. So that's some of the things that I've been working on recently. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you, and I got a little bit better camera setup, and my goal is to start doing a few more live streams and start to just document the things that I'm working on and stuff like that. So yeah, hope you enjoy the work. Thanks for watching.